November 14, 1969. Lunar precision. Apollo 12 marked a defining moment in United States spaceflight because it demonstrated that the nation could repeat a lunar landing with greater accuracy and technical control than the first landing achieved by Apollo 11. The mission launched from Kennedy Space Center with crew members Charles Pete Conrad, Richard Gordon, and Alan Bean. Every phase of the mission showed how NASA strengthened procedures, improved planning, and expanded scientific ambition after the initial goal of reaching the lunar surface had been met earlier that year. The launch demonstrated both the power and the vulnerability of the Saturn V rocket. 36 seconds after liftoff, a lightning strike traveled down the exhaust plume and temporarily knocked out telemetry. Another strike hit moments later. Critical instruments went dark and flight controllers momentarily lost key readouts. Rapid work inside Mission Control restored function through a command that reset the fuel cells. The crew continued the ascent safely, and the incident became a notable example of human skill supporting complex technology under pressure. It also provided data that influenced electrical protection improvements in later missions. Once in space, the mission followed a plan that highlighted the growing confidence of NASA's lunar program. The command module, named Yankee Clipper, remained in lunar orbit with Richard Gordon, while the lunar module, named Intrepid, carried Pete Conrad and Alan Bean to the surface. The target was the Ocean of Storms, a large basaltic plain on the western near side of the Moon. Engineers selected this site because it was near the landing spot of Surveyor 3, an uncrewed spacecraft that reached the Moon in April 1967. The goal was to land close enough to inspect the earlier craft directly and retrieve parts for scientific study. The landing showed a level of precision that confirmed NASA's progress in navigation and descent techniques. Intrepid touched down approximately 160 meters from Surveyor 3, a far more accurate result than the Apollo 11 landing in July 1969. This accuracy demonstrated that the United States could target specific points on the lunar surface with controlled reliability, an ability that opened the possibility for more ambitious scientific missions. The landing also showed how human pilots could combine instrument readings with visual judgment during the final approach to a chosen spot. Conrad and Bean conducted 2 moonwalks, covering a larger area than the Apollo 11 crew and gathering a broader range of geological samples. Their work included photographs, soil analysis, and placement of scientific instruments such as the Apollo Lunar Surface Experiments Package. This set of instruments measured seismic activity, solar wind, and other environmental conditions. The experiments operated long after the crew returned to Earth, expanding the scientific value of the mission well beyond the time spent on the surface. One of the most historically important moments was the examination of Surveyor 3. The crew removed components, including the television camera, and returned them to Earth. Scientists studied the retrieved parts to understand how long-term exposure to the lunar environment affected materials. These findings shaped future choices in spacecraft construction and contributed to a more detailed understanding of lunar conditions. Apollo 12 also played a central role in demonstrating the sustainability of the Apollo program. It showed that missions could proceed on a regular schedule and that operational knowledge improved with each launch. The success of Apollo 12 encouraged the planning for more complex landing sites in later missions, including the rugged terrain explored by Apollo 15, 16, and 17. It proved that the United States possessed both the industrial capacity and the technical expertise to conduct a series of deep space expeditions rather than a single isolated achievement. The mission returned to Earth on November 24, 1969, completing a 10-day flight marked by scientific achievement and operational strength. The crew's work provided data that advanced geology, material science, and space engineering. The success reinforced public confidence in the space program and confirmed that the achievement of Apollo 11 was not a singular event but the beginning of a larger framework for exploration. Apollo 12 holds historical significance because it demonstrated precision, stability, and scientific focus. It showed that the United States could build on a historic milestone with a mission that delivered deeper insights and more ambitious goals. Its results supported later exploration efforts and strengthened the foundational knowledge required for human activity beyond Earth. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history.